different when you hear it from your parents, it's different when you see it in social media, when you read about it, and it's different that you're here.
I went into college, I realized that I didn't really understand my identity. I didn't quite fit in with the white culture. I didn't quite fit in with the Filipino culture.
This really easily. Growing up, I didn't really have a strong foundation of my Filipino culture. I really wanted to delve into my Filipino culture to learn more about who I was as a Filipino.
My late father was born in 1938, and of course the Japanese occupied the Philippines when they invaded during World War II. And my father was the youngest of about 9 children, and 2 of his oldest brothers served in the United States Armed Forces of the Far East, which, you know, were to defend the Philippines. Fortunately though, because his older brothers who died during the war were veterans.
I've always had like an internal conflict within myself. I'm not white enough to be white, I'm not brown enough to be brown. My parents retired to the Philippines, so I went to high school in the first couple of years of college in the Philippines, and so that's when I started to really appreciate my heritage and my background as a Filipino.
I feel like my Filipino-ness is very like removed from the Philippines. It was my great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents that came to the United States. In fact, my great-great-grandfather was one of the first Filipino laborers to come to Hawaii in 1912 to work in the sugarcane plantations. And so being 4th generation or 5th generation, I feel very removed from this country here.
To assimilate to the American culture, lost a little bit of my identity growing up. And it wasn't until high school and college when I started joining Filipino clubs that I started to sort of reconnect with the Filipino community and form a Filipino network. It was a very humbling experience to reconnect with family members, and it really cemented for me my need to keep my Filipino identity a part of my life.
I'm the oldest of my 3 siblings, and growing up we didn't learn Tagalog like my parents. Really the extent to which we were immersed in the culture was just like the Filipino parties and the karaoke and the feast during holidays, but never really getting involved in the community outside of just like immediate friends who were connected to the military somehow. And so when we moved out of San Diego when I was 12, I didn't realize that like I was the minority because I had been in school with mostly Filipinos. So when I got to Florida, like right near the border of Alabama, I realized like, wow, I'm very different than what makes up most of this country, and I kind of had a little bit of an identity crisis. I remember my old friends from San Diego telling me that I was whitewashed. I didn't really know what that meant because I thought I was Filipino. So it wasn't until college when I got involved with the student organization there.
I have a huge Filipino family, but I didn't go to school with a lot of Filipinos, so growing up, my Filipino-ness was like very much connected to my family. And when I went away to college, that's when like my Filipino education really started. And that's when I really learned so much more about Philippine American history than I ever hoped to or ever realized. So I went to college knowing that I wanted to be an immigration lawyer.
I was born in the Philippines, and I lived here up until I was 14 years old. And then after that, I moved to Alaska. And I moved to Alaska. I didn't move to City, Alaska. I live in City, Alaska now. But when I moved to Alaska when I was 14, I moved to what is considered to be the top of the world, but it's the northernmost point of the United States. Eventually, similar to what Marjorie mentioned earlier, like the struggles with my Filipino-ness and me trying to get rid of my Filipino-ness and trying to assimilate as much as I can, led me to I had some experiences about other Filipinos telling me that, one, I'm not American enough, and then, or not assimilated enough, and so I assimilated, and then once I assimilated, Filipinos don't tell me that, I'm Filipino, I better act like I'm Filipino, so.
I would volunteer at these medical missions, and it'd be really intense. There's like cleft palates, surgeries, and like babies being born, and just hallways full of people like who travel so far to come to these missions, and so I was really affected by that and how he could have an impact with his profession. And so I wanted to pursue that in my profession as well. And as an architect, the way that I've seen the most change and transformative power through architecture is through a design build program, which we take on a project for a whole year.
But we needed the space, so we moved here. And so we had
20 years old, 19 years old. We'd like to take FYLPRO all the way there. And this is 15,000 members strong, carpenters, laborers, cement makers.
Some of the highlights so far has been biking through Intramuros on bamboo bikes, and luckily all of us can ride a bike. So, and then also today we got to speak with Vice President Lenny Guerrero, which was a really fantastic experience. We're quite honored to have that opportunity.
We want to remain relevant in terms of being part of the national agenda. Filipinos, either who've been grown up here and trained here, or like yourselves that might decide someday that they want to come back.
Good morning. I'm Ryan Sinap from the DC area, Washington DC. I'm a mental health advocate.
It's a product of ads. It's a product of Western influence on us. Your concept of beauty becomes
1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
One more, please.
Thank you.
Okay, one more. Here.
One more.
Okay. Thank you. So you brought this all the way from the US?
It's on purpose, yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
You will really pass for a local name, which is good in a way. But they might, I was eating here, but be careful because the bears are all over.
Yeah, my backyard. They wandered into my backyard.
The level of English proficiency is better than it is in some states in the United States, right? And here we're here on the home turf, right? So I get the cream, the creme de la creme.
Seems like NBC obviously has a lot of large Filipino corporations. Are there foreign members as well?
There are also foreign members. We do have some overlap. Our members were a member last time. Our strength now as a business communities, we have decided to work together more.
One more.
Oh, thank you.
We have another small token for you, Bruce. Thank you.
We don't know where to go.
just keep smiling.
Those are our beds? Yeah. I'm gonna have to join
Say hi.
But like 24 hours and 15 minutes. Yes. Okay.
I think it's just like, no, they didn't. But I think it's, yeah.
The Land Premier showroom. I hope you enjoyed your night last night at Lit, and hope you didn't get home too late. And I know I saw some of you very early this morning on ANC, so congratulations.
Next is, so this is C5. So these are the main north-south linkages. It's a 74-hectare estate that will have direct access to the South Luzon Skyway.
Yesterday we actually had the chance to meet Fernando Isabel, and then Minnie walked us through everything that the foundation's doing. And so this really kind of brings everything together and shows the just really the amazing things that are going on here. So I want to thank you for sharing that with us. And
Thank you.
yeah,
I see that your program for this week, you have a number of engagements. You met the Vice President yesterday. You'll have sessions with the senators. So this is very, very important. Once again, I'd like to extend the business community's warmest welcome to the delegates of the FYL program. Thank you very much.
It's not only do we try to share with you, but we also like to learn so much from you about what's going on back in the States.
Another thing that Bruce said that resonated with me was how he's an immigrant
from Scotland, and I think we're all immigrants here, and to be welcomed in the Philippines, welcome back to the Philippines is a great honor. So we look forward to partnering with all of you, the movers and shakers of the business world in the Philippines. And again, thank you for all of your support.
So it's social housing built by Base Baha'i, and they basically framed the whole thing out of bamboo and use like ancient technologies.
Spent some time this afternoon looking at your bios, and it's very, very deeply impressed. So a tremendous amount of work to how the strength of U.S.-Philippines relationship is every day enhanced, reinforced by the 4 million Filipino Americans who are contributing so deeply to the economic and political future of our two countries. I really do think every part of the house is charming.
The Immersion program is a unique opportunity for us to come together and collaborate on ways to foster relationships between the U.S. and the Philippines, and the opportunity to engage with individuals such as yourself.
I always tell them that never burn your bridges, because one day you will come back. I have many, many friends who have lived in the United States for over 30 years, and now they're back here and they're very happy to be here. So who knows? You may be back here one day.
So we're looking forward to being able to support you in what you want to, in what you set out to achieve for yourselves in the U.S.
Every bad news can always be negated by you behaving as good citizens and projecting that culture and heritage we call Filipino.
Again, I'm very pleased to meet all of you, and you're all accomplished. And certainly we look forward to interacting with you down the road as we go to Washington, D.C.
And also as our Consul General in Guam. 3 times.
To the Villa Escudero Coconut Plantation Estate.
Separately, meaning to say they don't have a separate class with a separate teacher. You have to understand we have 42,000 barangays. We cannot afford 42,000 teachers and 42,000 separate special education classrooms.
The class addressed to them.
In each and every school, can't afford it. So right now the thrust of DepEd is integration, which I know is close to useless. Only the rich can afford.
Social and biological aspects.
Biological? So disorder.
No, historically. And then it has evolved over the years as we found out more about it, as more research was conducted, that no, it is not.
Places where we can be more efficient in our allocation and fund.
They're like, I'm sure you're like, so I'm like, okay. I will.
Yes,
ticket.
Yes, that's correct, Mr. President.
So kailangan ninyo ng ilang dormitory space, ilang buildings or dormitory space. Full and then we'll go again.
A decade and a half. And it's only recently that it's gotten public attention. And I think partly because it's a very popular show. Being depressed is not equal to being stressed. And kind of went viral. So I think that it's a good people. So, and you can probably figure that many of them are urban centric.
There are no clinical psychologists.
I think there are, but it's very limited now.
We run into the same problem in that a lot of people who need mental health services cannot get it from psychiatrists. So clinical psychologists have become really useful, maybe the services cheaper, actually more effective than just drugs.
Thanks, guys. Nice to
time of the Muslims here, and we're having trying to have a big practice with them. These are flights all over the country. We have an amphibian that takes us to outlying areas. These are 3 hostages that we negotiated. I personally handled, and they were released. And that's the president's oath of office. He took his oath of office before the youngest delegate asked to shoot him. My great-grandfather fought that. Of course, Aguinaldo got all the credit, but here in Lisbon,
Sorry, one more.
Okay, go in. But I'm so happy that you're here, and we invited an upbeat group because we wanted to kind of share more about what FYLPRO does. So happy birthday to you!
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Drink up, please think, encounter.
Doing things to combat the human rights abuses from the police about the war on drugs, but he never really went into specifics.
How are they explaining like the basis for that?
8 miles and I could just see you.
This is so white.
Yes, they have children, they have families, most of them. They're going to school, and as you can see, mostly of them are women.
Try, yes. Try here or there?
Saan po kayo bago dito?
Children? Yes. Two children. Boys. Both boys? Yes, boys. What are their names? Yan. Dali lang sa malaki. Turuan mag, para matuto.
No, I wish I brought a towel.
Oh, I left it in the van.
Where'd you get this from? Sir.
Ito may spoon ko na dito eh.
A lot more something I thought.
Wash up, wash up. You can change afterwards, right?
After we eat?
Yeah. Any more?
Okay. Everybody you get started. Pwede na kayong kumain.
Kain na!
Kain na!
Pwede kayong magkamay, pwede rin kayong mag-gloves.
Pwede. Have it your way. I'm speaking for myself, but I think I can assume that for the rest of us, you know, with the rest of my batch and the organizers, I think today has definitely been a highlight of our trip so far. You know, in our daily lives, you know, many people kind of put us up on a pedestal, saying we're well accomplished, you know, people, you know, inspiring people. Y'all are the true inspiration. I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna speak at Tagalog now. I can't go on anymore. So, sa totoo lang po, yung sinabi ko po sa English kanina, sa araw-araw po namin buhay, marami pong nagsasabi sa amin na marami na po kaming nagagawa sa buhay, marami na po kami na-accomplish. Mataas po ang mga pinag-aaralan namin, sinwerte po kami, pinagpalad po kami. Marami po nagsasabi sa amin, inspirasyon kami sa mga komunidad namin na nire-representa namin. Pero sa totoo lang po, kayo po ang tunay na inspirasyon. Kayo po ang buhay ng Pilipinas. Sa mga pinagdaanan niyo po, sa mga hirap na pinagdaanan niyo. Pero ang dami po na po nawala sa inyo. Pero hanggang ngayon, nandito ko rin po kayo. Maraming salamat. Para sa inyo po lahat ito, it's from all of us, para po sa inyo lahat. Maraming salamat po. Hindi ko na po May have water pa.
Hindi, padala na yan. Yung cooler namin, padala na lang yun sa sa poster.
Okay.
Oo.
The acceptable rating globally is 86%, but we're happy that we have 94%. Okay? And it's not an easy job because
Not for me.
Civics number
I haven't taken it. Alright,
This is the KTM full throttle. That's it.
Uninitiated, this is your first time, sip it first. It's not an intimidating shot. It's a very...
Alright, I'm Tyler Dos Santos Tam. I'm from Honolulu, Hawaii. What I do there is I'm the executive director of the Hawaii Construction Alliance, which represents...
For my legacy project, I hope to bring some resources to newly arriving Filipino migrants in the United States about their rights and legal resources.
And I've been just inspired and in awe of this country. Yes, we have seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. But for every negative thing that I've heard or I've seen, there's so many amazing things that I want to go back and tell Americans in the States to come here.
And our island doesn't receive a lot of representation. The highest demographic is Filipinos. So although
You have to be vulnerable. You have to have the courage to say the things that people think are stigmatized or taboo. Yeah.
Walking down the street, music and just the smells are just so intense, in good ways and bad ways, as you know. But that's really, I think, a testament to the fact that this country is so full of life, and it's really...
That's the only way we got through traffic yesterday.
Yeah, no, there are other ways. Ask me later how. Anyway, so what do you want? What would you like to talk about? What Filipinos have to understand? Filipinos here who visit the U.S. and want to try to understand the culture is, and it took me a while to do so, is to understand issues, the very deep-seated issues of identity, because we don't experience that the same way here, but Filipino Americans experience it there. And
one more.
But the SEC granted us the SRO status called the self-switch. Domestically based, only 3 are foreign companies. Thank you. If you need any information about this, any information for the stock exchange, just message us on Facebook.
American population in California alone was the largest in the whole of the US. And at that point, we were the biggest Asian American community.
Everyone, and it's been great to hear the passionate people that are leading the country.
and also as everyday hard workers. So it's been really eye-opening for me. And so I thank everyone at FYLPRO and all the sponsors IALA for that opportunity. So I guess the strength, I think, is when we're back in the van, we can process it with each other, we can say whatever we want to each other, and then kind of form our own, I guess, conclusions. And I think our consensus is that this place, the Philippines, has so much potential.
I learned some beautiful, positive things. I also learned some quite dark, depressing things. And it's going to take me a lot of time to process, everything that I've been exposed to. The 10 of us as FYLPRO delegates and all y'all over here are considered leaders. I really truly believe that is the people who's gonna have to lead with us.
I told myself when I was in a position to contribute back to the Philippines, to its success, I would do so. And this program has solidified that for me during this week. The highlight of my trip was meeting with my mentor. I had a very abstract idea, and she helped turn that abstractness into a concrete, actionable step program that I really look forward to.
2, 3, smile, one more.
Tackling the LGBT, the macho dancer, here is a relationship with, sex for convenience and all of this. And then I did Magnifico, which is a totally different film. It's about domestic drama and heartfelt film, which
and clothing lines that feature that more native and more closer to our roots.
Oh, there are a lot. We can do features on that because there are local brands, fashion, etc.
Yeah, but I guess y'all are so powerful with the media, with your talents, with your writing skills and directing skills and creative skills, and you can change the narrative. I think that's important. You can change the societal narrative. You can make dark skin cool, and I think that's what we're trying to go for here. Make dark skin cool.
I never had a boss at GMA News who is not a woman. The founders of the PCIJ are the Philippine Center for Investigative Journalism have been mostly women.
Oh, look at Crystal's walk.
It's like a runway. It is Crystal.
Broadcast electronic and IT equipment capable of digitizing.
Can you do that again? We're filming you. The photo.
Are using this very powerful tool in the Philippines to do a lot of good, to expose issues through documentaries, reporting on the news, through entertaining people and taking on tough social issues in entertainment in a form that the general population can understand, and then also giving back to the community through the CSR efforts we just heard about. It's been really inspiring. This is really a wonderful way to close our program. And so from all of us, we just want to thank you for putting this together, being so welcoming and so skillful.
It's a Marjorie sandwich with rye bread.
Oh, with rye bread.
In between two.
Your program is over.
It's never over. We'll always be together.
It's just the beginning.
Batch 6.
What was that?
That's 6.
I think everyone's supposed to be on this.